I want to talk about this recipe concept for just a second to kind of drill in the point that I want to make to you all so that you can make it to your parents when you're teaching them about this. So when I love to cook, probably obvious. When I get a cookbook, I do read the whole thing because I want to read about every possible thing I could make. But even in my favorite cookbooks, I am only going to choose probably 10% of them to cook for my family. And then there will maybe be a small percentage of those that I really like and that my family really likes. And then there'll be an even smaller percentage of those that become family favorites, right? So what we're trying to aim for, I think, are the family favorites at home. And part of the challenge is everybody likes different stuff. Everybody's family is a little bit different. But the idea of what you're trying to do and what I'm trying to do is not to throw everything at the families so that they're overwhelmed with recipes and ideas. And we'll get into the weeds of that a little bit more in the future. So if we step back from all of this and think about how to help families choose the faith practices that are going to work for them, how do we do that? One thing that I would encourage you do, if you did maybe a training with parents, or if you were just talking one-on-one with a small group about faith at home, if I'm doing a presentation like this for parents, what I would say to them is, first question, when you think of your children leaving you on that day when they leave you, whether that's in 2 years or 4 years or 18 years, when you think of them leaving, maybe 26 years, right? 30 years, they're living in the basement, what do you want them to know about your faith? Not intellectually, but in their heart. What 3 things would you want them to internalize about faith at home? And I try to get parents to write down 3. 5 would be my max, but even if you can get them to do 1, that would be great. Now, I'm not going to share mine. I have personal ones that I feel like are actually different maybe than the ones that I have as a pastor, but I'll share one of mine. So one of mine that I want my children when they leave me, I want them always to know that God is loving and gracious, and God loves them and accepts them no matter what. That's one of my key ones, probably for me, the most important one. And then there's a number of others. But then to ask ourselves and to ask our families and parents, what are 3 to 5 things that you do not want your children to believe about God when they leave you? And one of mine, I'm going to put up one of my more maybe controversial ones that some of our theological nerds might debate with me about, but it's my own, so I'm going to tell it to you. So one of mine would be, I do not want my children to believe that God demands a blood sacrifice for sins. That's not how I view the work of Jesus on the cross. And so I want to make sure that my parents do not have that view of God. It's a pretty theologically specific one because I'm a pastor. So if I was using this as an example with parents, I would maybe say, I don't want my children to grow up believing that God chooses some people over others based on their skin color or their socioeconomic status, that all people are created equal. So once you do that, you have your list of values that you want the children to have when they leave you and values that you hope they don't absorb. Then you can kind of back into it, right? You back into it through these faith practices. If I want my children to ultimately leave me with a view that God is loving and gracious and just and kind, it's probably not something that I would say one time and hope that they remember it. It's probably something I would want to incorporate into the rhythm of our family life as much as possible through faith practice.